Fast cars, fast service. Visit lebhobbies.com. Hey everybody, how you doing today? Yes, it's Friday. Yes, time for some more news. We are leading off with a whole bunch of good news from MRSlotcar. And remember, yes, that is how you pronounce it, folks. They're showing 2 short wheelbase Ferraris and 2 Corvettes. Wow, these look great. Looks like we're going to get the new chassis design here that is going to be, I guess, sort of comparable to a Revo car, and that's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, we all know what we're going to get quality-wise. We're going to get some really great stuff here, and, you know, these cars are going to be great value for money, and I'm sure when they arrive, folks will be very, very pleased with their purchase. Yes, a couple different liveries of each car here. Obviously, the traditional American racing colors Corvettes are scheduled, I believe, to arrive soon. Or have they arrived? I'm not entirely sure. I believe they're still said to be arriving soon. Very good news. That's awesome. We have do I have it still here? I do not. The Trans Am 2 Challenger from 3 Amigos Racing. These can be gotten from Slot Car Corner. I will leave a link in the description of the video, and you can check them out from them. They're 3D printed cars. There are 3 different cars that they're showing now: the Challenger, the Mustang, and the Camaro. Awesome stuff to have these released whenever it is that they get released. I believe soon is the answer, and I'm sure they will be worth it as well. Great to see the guys do something here in the U.S. with 3D printing. We like it. We like it a lot. Area 71, speaking of 3D printing, this is a next level Porsche 91730. My goodness, the detail on this car. This car with the chassis detail and the engine detail would be such an amazing kit to work on. Definitely beyond my model making skills. I mean, it would be a heck of a car to paint. That I should say. I guess maybe the detail work I could probably do. I don't know though, but definitely Area 71 leading the way with 3D printed cars with this level of incredible detail. Now, obviously, you know, the 3 Amigos car, the Trans Am 2 cars, and the Area 71 cars, you know, these are for very, very different audiences. Obviously, the TA2 cars are meant to be run. They're good, solid cars that have good detail and offer you definitely unique cars that probably no one else will ever make, which is good on the Amigos for making their car. And of course, Area 71, you know, at a different end of the spectrum, let's say, with you know, a car it's going to be fairly pricey, but I would say would be worth it for the right builder to enjoy, because, you know, this is the 3D printing company. 3D printing in slot cars kind of maturing before our eyes here. You know, we have the full spectrum of availability with a lot of stuff now, and you know, these 2 companies are doing a great job giving us some absolutely unique stuff. Good on them. Thanks very much, guys. Lastly, but not leastly, if that's a word, the Thunderslot McLarens. I mentioned these a week ago. These are in stock now. I know a number of dealers have gotten them. I know LEB has. I just did their newsletter, and you know, if you're a Gurney fan, if you're a Thunderslot fan, These cars are not to be missed. The level of detail on these cars is very good. The performance is, I mean, we know what these McLarens can deliver. High quality performance, high quality detail and finish on these cars. And it's, it's great that they have these cars that have arrived now. Stick around after the racing show news, and we will get to an update about arrivals in the slot car world here in the U.S. Hey everybody, welcome back. So, not to belabor the tariff thing, but just to give you kind of an update about where some companies are with their thinking about shipping to the U.S. I've heard from a number of people now since my first discussion of this topic, and pretty much everybody is in the same pattern. Everybody is in a holding pattern, quite frankly. There is an absolute slowdown in what's being shipped. Things are being held in China now, and I mean, for the foreseeable future, this is going to be the case. I had talked to a really notable dealer the other day. He thought this would maybe end in 6 or so weeks with a resolution to the political end of this, and so far we've seen kind of the other way. There's no talks going on to the best of anyone's knowledge. The Toy Industry Association is sponsoring the Easter egg roll at the White House, and I know they have been lobbying the administration quite heavily. This is something that I think I mentioned before, but it's going on behind the scenes. You might not hear about this unless you have somebody that's a member of the Toy Industry Association. I am not. I had been when I worked for Carrera. I don't know that we were with Skelectric. I think we were, actually, yes. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. In any case, what we can see is now that what's in stock has excellent benefit for us here in the U.S. and, frankly, kind of around the world. And the 3D printing aspect of things, when things are made here, yes, I know the filaments by and large come from Asia, so technically, yes, the material is still coming from overseas. Believe me, I understand that. But, we are getting some interesting options, some very good options that offer quite a bit of value to us here, and quite a bit of unique kind of availability of cars, like the Amigos cars. This is the beginnings of what they're doing, I believe, and boy howdy, have they started off on a good tip, and good for them, better for us, quite frankly. That's kind of where we are with all of this. And again, we're not discussing politics here. We're just discussing what is kind of happening behind the scenes that a lot of companies will not be talking about on their social media. You'll just kind of see them posting about kind of the cars that have already arrived. A whole bunch of Skelectric cars have arrived in the last week or so in the U.S. I had a number of them here, and these were really excellent quality cars, really good value. Check your Skelectric dealer for availability on those. I believe they are going to go pretty fast. I believe those were pre-tariff prices on those cars. Now I think you'll start to see some kind of post-tariff or kind of pricing moving in that direction where dealers are trying to figure out what to do, quite frankly, because, you know, everyone is kind of up to their own devices on this. There's no real, you know, pattern, no real rule book for what they have to do when they're selling stuff. So, you know, it's a hard thing to figure out. And I'll just leave it there. I really do appreciate folks coming back week after week. It really does mean a lot. You know, we're talking about a political adjacent subject now, but I feel it's important for you all to hear kind of the things that I'm hearing about arrivals, about what's going on, so you all get a more full picture of what's going on. And you might not know if you're just seeing you know, kind of a lack of social media posts from some of these companies. So, you know, I had asked my wife about this, if she thought, she's the editor of our newspaper, what she thought about me mentioning tariff stuff again, because, you know, obviously I know there's not a lot of folks that want to hear about that kind of thing on this channel. Believe me, I get that. And she said, well, you know, it's news and it's specific to your hobby. I think you really owe it to the people who watch your news, because this is news, as I just said a second ago. It isn't just about the toys. You come to me for, you know, some of that insider view, some of that inside news that, you know, companies come to me, tell me the news. You know, they say, please don't say exactly who you got this from, but feel free to kind of pass it along, because they want to get it out there that, you know, they want to do business too. You know, it is not something that any of them like what's going on, regardless of who you talk to. It's a difficult situation. None of these companies are really very big, especially, you know, some of the hobbyist ones are kind of small, and, you know, it's a good time to support them in any way we possibly can. Thank you very much, folks. I don't believe I will be able to do a live stream this weekend. I will try, but it being kind of Easter weekend, we have some plans. We had a death in my very extended family, so I'm not sure what my plans are for tomorrow now. My sister-in-law had a death in her in-laws side of the family, so not really sure if that's going to be moved. The dinner we were going to be moved to, I don't know why I'm talking about this. I may be doing something on Sunday is what I'm getting to, basically, and the reason why. In any case, I really do appreciate you all sticking around. I really do. Thank you, folks, again. See you soon.